y'all, Sean and Riley here from Spirits. Today we want to go over our 3 favorite albums of all time.
Yeah.
My first band and album goes way back to when I was really young. I'm talking like 5th grade. Our Lady Peace came out with an album called Clumsy. And literally every song from front to back on that I can listen to and recite. It's just one of those albums that I didn't really feel like there was any filler music whatsoever. Clumsy is actually the title track off that album. If you guys haven't checked it out, it's freaking phenomenal. But their writing style is way different than anything else I've heard of in any other band. You know, I hear influences. I mean, they're definitely like a 90s alternative band, but they just have subtle things that they do that no other band out there does.
Yeah, they're unique.
Yeah. And I mean, just the range of what they have. You know, they have stuff that's a little bit heavier, but they also have a lot of stuff that's real like indie. Like I said, just not mainstream. So Clumsy, that's going to be the first one by Our Lady Peace for me.
The first one for me is actually a band from Portland.
Ooh.
They were called Upon Beautyrest. And coming up through high school, they were like my favorite fucking band of all time. Still one of my favorite bands of all time. The album is called For the Days We Fear the Air We Breathe. And it's phenomenal. And it was like, they were one of the first bands that I heard that really did like the post-hardcore sound with like full orchestration elements and piano and everything.
Right.
They were one of the first bands I heard do it like extremely well. So that album has been super influential for me. Favorite track would probably be Lord Bless Our Imperfections, for They're All We Have Left. Amazing album. Check it out on YouTube.
My second favorite album would have to be The Burning Red from Machine Head. I was in about 8th grade when this one was a hot one they had just released, and it's one of those albums that I actually had to buy 3 different times. I remember I'd take it with me to school, I'd take it with me everywhere, and it got broken 3 different times at school, so I had to actually repurchase that album. But there's so much about that album that not only is it a great musically written album, but it ties to a part of my life that was pretty chaotic at that time, but at the same time I really enjoyed a lot of what was going on in my life at that time. So I think for me, a lot of the reason that The Burning Red is one of my favorites is because of the nostalgia of it, which I absolutely love about music. There's so much, even listening to like old bands that you were in or old other local bands that aren't around anymore. It just takes you back to that time when things were a little simpler, to be really cliche about it. But yeah, Machine Head, The Burning Red, go check it out.
Next on my list would be Nocturnal by the Black Dahlia Murder.
Yes.
It's my favorite metal album of all time. I love that album. That album was super influential for me. At the time, I was a vocalist in death metal bands. And that was the first. Trevor Sternad, their singer, is the first guy that I really heard do like the low-high vocal and like rapidly switching in and out of both.
Oh, right.
And that really piqued my interest, and it led me to all kinds of bands within death metal, black metal, all the different extreme genres I discovered through Black Dahlia Murder. That album in particular is very like horror themed. They did a video for it for one of the songs that was based off the movie Creepshow, which is one of my favorite movies. So that album's rad. I love the lyrics, everything like that. My favorite song on that one, probably To a Breathless Oblivion.
All right, my next favorite would have to be from a band called Threat Signal. It's an album called Rationalise. Cool thing about this band is I got to see them online anyways before they actually hit it big. They signed with Nuclear Blast, which they definitely deserved with all the work that they put in. But yeah. I don't know if you guys remember an old program, GarageBand, but it was this really cool platform where you could upload your music and all, and then it would go on a cycle and you would review each other's music. And so, you could get your music in the rotation if you reviewed X amount of number of people. Well, they kept track and they had stats, similar to like Reverb Nation and some of the ones that they have out today. But these guys literally took the #1 spot for, I think it was like 2 to 3 years just as independent. They had recorded this whole album in their garage. And it was really cool because these guys were doing a lot of the djenti stuff, the mathematic metal, Malagna rhythms, all that stuff before it was super popular. So it was really cool to see them have that, but they also had a really nice mainstream as far as vocally. I would compare them to Chester from Linkin Park when he really belts out those notes and has that real grit behind there.
Yeah.
You know, Threat Signal is able to do that, but then his scream is just super powerful as well. So they really combined. Would it be compound or combined?
I believe it would just be combined.
They combined. See, we got it. They combined a lot of those things together before it was actually popular to really do that. So it was nice to see them. I kind of wish they would have got a little bit more play than they did.
They should have.
You know? Yeah.
They definitely should have.
Yeah, if you guys haven't checked out Threat Signal, especially Rationalise, that's the name of the album that I'm talking about. Give it a spin because it came out years ago, but it is so current you'll think it released last week.
Yeah, that's a sick album.
Yeah.
My last favorite, no surprise here, is Sing the Sorrow by AFI. It's the best album of all time, ever made, any genre, any artist. It is the best album ever, hands down. If you disagree, go fuck yourself.
Sit on that real quick, I'll be right back.
So yeah, Sing the Sorrow, it's my favorite album. It's the reason I started playing guitar. I have like 80 tattoos inspired by that album. It's fucking amazing. Even the B-sides are phenomenal. Yeah, that album was super influential for me. For whatever reason, I was listening to like a lot of Slipknot and Metallica and you know, like earlier bands like that. I think I was in 7th grade. Mm-hmm. And then a buddy of mine was a huge AFI fan. And we were on a field trip and he popped Sing the Sorrow in for the first time. And he fucking hated it. So he gave it to me and I loved it.
That's funny that you have that history with it. I actually purchased Sing the Sorrow. This is before you could check out the songs before you actually bought the album. And I looked at the cover, I was like, oh, these guys are gonna be so metal. And I got home and I gave it a spin and like, it's not a bad album, but the mind frame I was in, I was not ready for that.
Not what you were expecting. Yeah.
But it is a great album. You know, I don't disagree. I don't have the love for it that Riley does. And I've heard years and years of how it's the best, not only musically written, but produced, performed, all of it.
Lyrically.
If there's a package for Riley's perfect album,
Sing the Sorrow.
Sing the Sorrow, it's right there. And you know,
it's also the first time that album, I never knew hidden tracks were a thing.
Oh, yeah.
I'd never heard one.
Oh, really?
No,
okay.
So I was just, and this was before like you had iTunes and shit, so I had it in my Walkman on the way home from school, listening to the last song on the album, and it ended, and I just, you know, you wouldn't.
Yeah, you're just walking.
It was like in my backpack or something.
Right.
And then like 2 minutes later, I heard this piano thing start. And I'd already heard that last song probably 100 times.
Right.
And never heard this outro. So I was like, what the hell is this? Kept playing, found the hidden song. One of my favorite songs of all time.
No, I love that. I don't know if you remember enhanced CDs. You'd see the little enhanced logo and you'd run home to your computer and there'd be some sort of a music video or something like that. But back to what you talked about the hidden tracks, I remember Stained, their Dysfunction album. I listened to that probably for a year straight, not knowing that. I think it was called Black Rain, or I don't remember, but it was that real cool acoustic track in the back. That's kind of the things that you miss out on these days, you know, within the digital world. There's, you know, if there's a hidden track on your MP3, you're going to be, it's a 32-minute MP3, so there's something obviously on there.
Yeah.
You know, when you had a CD, it was like, or Korn, Follow the Leader. I thought my CD was broken. I put that in and it started just skipping through all the tracks with nothing on it, and they had like, I think if you went in and read it, it's all 32 tracks of silence brought to you by Korn, you know. But here I was flipping out, getting ready to take it back to the CD warehouse. But yeah, so Sing the Sorrow, AFI, that's Riley's number one.
A lot of good ones there. I don't think there was a bad album on that list. All 6 of those are great fucking albums.
Yeah, definitely. So check them out. We got, my first one was Our Lady Peace.
My first one was For the Days We Fear the Air We Breathe by Beautyrest.
My second was The Burning Red by Machine Head.
It's a great album.
It is.
One of my buddies in high school passed away, and that was his his memorial song.
Oh, yeah.
Burning Red.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great fucking album.
It is.
Lots of variation too.
So much. And
Yeah.
of course, their cover message in a ball of that was awesome too.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was never the biggest Machine Head fan, but that album is awesome, top to bottom.
No, I feel like I'm right there with you. I mean, I didn't really follow much after that, but there was something about that album that just, it latched on.
Yeah, agreed. And then you had Threat Signal.
Yeah, Threat Signal, Rationalise, another great one.
Yep, Black Dahlia Murder, AFI.
Yeah.
Let us know what your guys' top 3 favorites are down below in the comments. Make sure you give us a like and a subscribe. And if there's anything you want to see or know from us, put it in a comment below, man. We'll shoot a video about it. Let's party.
Yeah, real quick, I want to give a shout out to Chris Brannon for sending us this awesome Spirits candle. That is so awesome. Chris, we love you so much, brother. Thank you again for that. And you all stay safe and healthy.
Boom.